on a date with this girl, and at first it was like best date ever. Like, we were vibing. She was so my type. I was like, let's get a cul-de-sac in the Palisades, adopt 5 kids, put them in Cuba, orange slices on me. I will wear lavender to the wedding. Let's get a tulip garden. Where do I sign? Where do I sign my name? Okay. These 2 guys come up to us while we're at the bar. Let's call them Brad and Chad. Chad works for Morgan Stanley and is great at darts. I'm like, okay, can you like skedaddle? Like, we are kind of like hanging out, like us 2, like on a date. The girl that I'm with is like, no. Actually, like, they can stay. Like, I kind of like the vibes of us, like, all like hanging out together. But okay, like, now it's like a group project, getting to know her. Chad asks her for her number, and I'm like, okay, wifey's good. Wifey, this is my wife. Like, I know her like the back of my hand. I know she's gonna give the wrong number, and little does he know he's gonna be texting Cheryl and Poughkeepsie. You know what I mean? Me and her go to another bar, and I notice that she's texting someone. She's texting Chad. Not only she's texting Chad, but she tells me, hey, I actually think that I'm gonna meet up with that guy from the bar. I had so much fun though.
Yo, and that's the thing, straight up. It doesn't matter. You're still a woman, and women are still attracted to men, regardless of how the circumstances are. So if a Chad, Tyrone, or somebody of that nature comes by, her attraction triggers are naturally going to go off, even if she is or is not fond of women. It's just how it goes. So yeah, but she still didn't learn her lesson. So she tried to go on another date with another woman, and this was the aftermath.
I was talking to my friend today who's a lesbian, right? And she, you know, she had been through her exes. She has so many like intense stories, you know, about the breakups and shit like that. So we was talking today, and I'm like, yo, like, you really wasn't lying. Like, the breakups between the bitches really be intense. And she's like, oh my God, yeah, like the bitches is worse than the men. And I've heard this forever. But recently I went through my first pretty intense kind of farewell with a woman, and yeah, I like to think of myself as very kind of level-headed. I never used to be. I used to be a high-speed train wreck. I used to be like, anything used to take me the fuck off. I had no control over my fucking emotions. I was aggy most of the fucking time. So I could see me getting messy. I could see me very, very much so disturbing the peace, or not choosing peace. But I'm like, I didn't work so fucking hard on that I'm just like I just would prefer to just say nothing, like take care of yourself and like, okay, bye, and just like keep it pushing and move on with my fucking life. But it's like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, I don't have control, or like ultimate 100% control over the situation. So if shit gets messy, it just gets messy. But the shit really be getting messy. And it's just so crazy because it's a very tough pill to swallow. Because although I know, like, how I've had wonderful, wonderful experiences with women, and then I've had more wonderful experiences than I've had terrible ones. But knowing how quickly it can go from one spectrum to the next, and your soul is kind of on the floor, and you're just like, bitch, get up. It's time to get up and move on. Now, it's very intense. It's very intense. Is it worth it? Yeah, I do. I do think it's worth it. I do. I do. But it is very intense.
Bro, this is utter and like complete cap. Like, this is a lie. And we know that women, when they start venturing over to the same sex, dealing with themselves, dealing with other women, that it's a outburst or an outgrowth of their failure, pretty much, dating men. When women fail in the dating market, when they date men, they go over to women. And the thing is, she's just completely capped about what is really going on. Because if we be completely honest here, guys, women dating each other is like oil and water. It doesn't mix whatsoever. It's like oil and water. And the thing is, when women actually get into relationships, marriages, the statistics show that domestic violence between those couples, those lesbian couples, compared to gay couples, those lesbian couples, bro, it'd be a UFC match, bro. It'd be Mike Tyson versus Buster Mathis Jr., and they both Mike Tyson. They be beating the crap out of each other. But the thing is, like, she sits around Cap, says, oh, is it worth it? It's not worth it. And the thing is, these women will understand this, that this is all that they have. A woman like her, this is all that she has. And it's funny because right now, if you notice that when she was filming that video, she's in a hotel room. She's not at her own house. She's in a hotel room with a full face of makeup, lipstick, hair done, all that stuff, in a bed, leaning back. That just goes to show you, bro, right there, that she still is looking for male attention. Because the thing is, women, they don't really care about all that stuff. There's going to be a woman that's more butch, a woman that's more masculine, more of the man, so to speak, in a relationship. And there's women that are going to be the girls, that are going to dress like the girls. So I'm assuming that when she dates women, she probably likes women that look like her. So there's no direction, there's no lead. But those relationships don't work. So she sits around, tries to convince herself that, oh, dealing with the women, it's way worse than dealing with the men. The thing is, the reason why she said that nonsense is because she has no success with men. And men aren't that bad. Men are very simple. And if you can't please a man who only requires 4 to 5 things, 3, 4, 5 things, something is wrong with you. And you ventured over to the dark side and started dealing with the same sex, the same gender, and you're noticing a trend. Because women, they get tired of each other. Because women are indecisive by nature. Women are fickle by nature. Men are more stoic. Men are more reasonable. Men are more logical. And men can make decisions. Men are more competent than women are, typically. Well, not typically, majority of the time, because that's the nature that we're in. The man is the leader by nature. That's how God made us. But you have women right here capping. And she was in a situation, she mentioned before, that she was on a date with a woman and the woman left with a dude. The dude took her away because her natural proclivity is to be with the guy. It's not to be with a woman, but she's dealing with these women and she's still single. She still doesn't have a girlfriend. She still is not dating her same sex. She's just going on dates. She's dealing with, I promise you, she's probably dealt with more than 10 women. And that's sad because she probably dealt with less guys, got her heart broken, or got disappointed and didn't understand the rules of dealing with a masculine man or dealing with the man in general. And she probably was trying to be more bossy, more masculine, and looked the part, looking like a woman, but acting masculine and having these masculine tendencies that aren't attractive. And a guy was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go deal with another chick. He probably cheated on her. And she got into her feelings, and all it takes, like I used to say, is one time. All it takes is one breakup for a woman, and she's never the same. She never views men the same. She never views relationships the same. The only women that don't get broken after one breakup, like they literally get snapped in half and their perception changes, is the women that are raised by men or raised by strong masculine figures like their brother, their uncle, their cousins, guys like that at a young age that tell them about men, so that they're not surprised. Guys that say, hey, that keep it real with them. It's very seldom that you see that. Hey, dudes, when you get around them, when you start dating guys, they're going to cheat. But doesn't mean that they don't love you anymore and they want to break up. No. But she didn't have this guidance. She didn't have a masculine figure. And you can tell because she is the masculine figure. The way she talks, the way she curses, the way she describes things, saying the N word, saying the B word, like referring to males and females and talking like a man. That's how you know she doesn't even have any of this masculine figure coming up. So what did she do? She got into some relationships. She got her cherry busted. She dealt, with some dudes. Dudes kicked her to the side because she didn't understand the rules. And what happened? She became broken when it came to dating the opposite sex, which is natural. But what did she do? She went over to the dark side and started dealing with women. And now she started to notice that she cannot lock a woman down because she gets tired of them. Because women are more lazier than men. I'm not saying most women, but actually I am saying most women. I'm not saying all women, but most women are lazy. They're just lazy in nature. They want to do things. They want things given to them, and they want things easier. They want someone to take care of it. So when you have two women in a relationship, they're both expecting someone to be the more masculine, like the man would be, the more masculine figure, more reasonable, logical person, to take over and take care of things. But when you have two of the same thing, water and oil, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You can say, oh, well, there's relationships out there. Well, women have been together and adopted kids. They beat the crap out of each other. Statistics show These couples are beating the crap out of each other and they don't last, or they cheat, or they go deal with the man. So every time I see these type of relationships, I hear about this stuff, I just know that this is an outgrowth of bullcrap. It's nonsense. It's failure. It's an F. It's not understanding men. So I'm going to take my ball and go home. I'm going to unplug the video game out. You know, when you're playing a video game with your kid, brother, or your friend or whatever, and you kicking his ass by like 40 points or something on NBA 2K or NBA Live for the ones, you know, that are old like me that's playing NBA Live, and they just unplug the game. That's what these women do, and that's how they end up dealing with women. I'm not saying all of them. There are some that just strictly have been dealing with women since they've been, you know, came out in high school or whatever. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about women who have failed with men, don't understand men, don't know the rules when it comes to dating the men and their place, and then they start dating other women, or they start dating women of the same sex. They just don't understand it. So yeah, she's gonna continue to go around this circle. She's probably gonna bump into a dude, and the dude's gonna be like, okay, like, what do you offer? And then she's gonna offer all of this masculinity, and she's gonna be like, you know what? I think I want to step away, you know, from girls for a second because I met this guy. He's gonna find out how she really is, and he's just gonna say, okay. In the back of his head, men put women in two categories: sex only or wifey material. But it takes within 6 months to a year, you have to vet a woman. He's not going to have to vet her because he's going to understand what type of chick she is, because that mask is going to come down. But do you have some guys that just bring femininity and it just oozes out of women? Even women that says, oh, I don't want no man, I don't need no man. Or women saying, oh, well, I don't deal with men anymore. The right guy comes around, the right guy that, you know, emotionally turns her knob, that elicits these attraction triggers, it's a wrap. But that guy's not going to take her serious. He's going to put her in the first category, sex only. He's never going to wife her. He's going to make his mind up, because that's what we do, because we use logic and reason, and we're able to problem solve and figure things out like by nature and say, okay, she's going to be compartmentalized for sex only. And that's where she's going to end up. And then she's going to be back in the loop dealing with women 35, 36, 37 years old, getting nowhere. So what I suggest a woman like this should do is to go ahead and get a cat, get a few plants, get a dog, get a bird, get a vibrator or a jackhammer 6000, and just prepare to slam right into the wall, because your looks will fade. Your understanding about you know, what your worth is and how you're dealing with people is just gonna just go up in numbers. You're gonna be like, oh, I dealt and dated with 13 or 14 women before in my existence, and I only dealt with like 6 men. You're gonna have all these numbers. Those guys, if they can get some box out of you, they're gonna run up your body count, and your attractiveness and your sexual market value is gonna go down the freaking toilet. So get ready and get prepared for it. Crazy.